Okay, we're back with 6.6. There's one other additional problem I wanted to show you. My last video cut out on me. Anyway, also on number 14, I wanted to show you this one because it's going to appear more complicated, but it's really not. Plus, I want to show you kind of a cool tool that you can use to help you with derivatives and stuff like that. So here we have x equals. As soon as you see x equals, you can clearly see that we are going to end up integrating to the y-axis. So square root of negative y squared plus 6y minus 8. We're going to do it from y between 3 and 7/2. Before we even get started, of course, we need our derivative. And this is not a difficult derivative to find. You can utilize the chain rule, of course, take it to the 1/2 power. It goes to the 3/2, and it can, or down to the negative 1/2, and becomes a fraction in the end. But you want to use this opportunity to show you a quick tool. I gave you access to this. I gave you the link. Sorry, not that one. I gave you the link to this in Canvas, and it is the CAS calculator from GeoGebra. The link I gave you takes you to a page, and you can actually just download this to your computer. There are lots of derivative and integral calculators out there. You can use whatever one you want. But again, we're going to be spending so much time doing different types of problems. Part of constantly having to do a lot of derivatives and integrals when you're learning a different type of concept, more challenging concept. So do use these calculators when you want to, when you're working on your homework, but also please make sure you already know how to use the chain rule for a derivative. So this calculator is pretty easy. Move over to the f of x button. Notice you've got an integration symbol. You have a derivative symbol. So we're going to do a derivative. Tells you. So I'm going to go back to my numbers now. I forgot the radical. That would be helpful. Let's put the radical in first. There we go, negative. And we can use y. GeoGebra is great. You can use x or y, doesn't matter. Plus 6y minus 8. And go ahead and hit the button, and there, boom, we have our derivative. Like I said, the integration tool is really nice as well. A note about integration real quick, since we're here. When you do integrate something, let's just do x, make it really simple, and you want to integrate a definite integral, this is where you would put your boundary. So 1 to 8. So if you're integrating 1 to 8, you would do it that way. All right, and then it gives you the answer. I just wanted to remind you of that and show you that real quick. All right, but we have it, negative y plus 3 over the radical negative y squared plus 6y minus 8. So we're going to go ahead and take that and put it over here so we know what it is. Over radical negative y squared plus, and if you know your chain rule really well, you probably did not need a calculator for that one. Okay, let's go ahead. 2 pi. We're going from 3, we're going to change that to 3.5. First, we put our actual function in. Remember, this is all part of that circumference piece. This actually represents your radius. 1 plus negative y plus 3 over radical negative y squared. And you might be thinking this is just a lot of crazy algebra to deal with. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. You're like, oh, I've got to square that, and then I got to add 1 to it, and then I got to take the square root of it. You're going to be amazed at how this all cancels away. So I'm going to do this in a different color underneath of it first. Let me just move this down a little. There we go. When I square this, I get y squared minus 6y plus 9. I squared the binomial, and of course this just simply comes out of the radical. Now I have to add it to a 1, which means I got to get a common denominator. So technically you're adding it to this. This is a little quick review I'll give you. Right? And we get this common denominator. And if I keep going, well, you can see right away, we can do it right now. When you combine the numerator, negative y squared with y squared goes away. 6y negative 6y goes away. Negative 8 and 9 just becomes 1. So what we really end up with right now is radical negative y squared plus 6y minus 8 times radical 1 over negative y squared plus 6y minus 8. Because they are both under a radical, you can multiply these two together under that radical, under one radical. So in other words, I could take a radical away and just put it all under one radical. They cancel. And you get square root of 1. And square root of 1 is 1. So really, this whole thing looks like it just goes to pi, right? Because 3.5 minus 3 is just 0.5. Half of 2 pi is pi. So don't let the problems fool you. Those that seem more complicated are often sometimes the easiest ones. Okay? So there was just a short video giving you one additional problem of surface area.